Okay, David.
Yes, my friend.
So how come you decided to write an autobiography and at this time in your life?
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good question there. I mean, I think that it was, as I saw myself getting older, I wanted to leave something behind not so much behind, but to try to accumulate all my experiences to pass to my nephews, my nieces, my own children, and to anybody that's interested to know my journey. Friends, close friends, their kids, someone obviously that they've known their whole lives, and use it as a source of motivation and inspiration. I thought I had accumulated a lot of experiences in these 47 years.
Yeah.
So I thought, it was about time, put it down on paper, and give it away as a legacy, so to speak. Yeah.
And it's been a labor of love, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's been challenging. It's been, as you say, it's been a lot of therapy in it also.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're having to dig back into memories that you would like to forget.
Yeah.
And then obviously resurface them, reevaluate them as to where you are now in life, compared to where you were back then,
Yeah.
So it's been a great experience actually.
Yeah. And have you learned something about yourself in this process?
Definitely.
Writing the book?
Yeah, definitely. I think the things you learn is, you learn one from life, and you learn obviously from issues that you maybe didn't deal with right at that time in the right way. Obviously now you see it from another perspective.
Yeah.
So obviously just wisely, just more mature.
Yeah.
That helps you obviously assess things differently than what you did back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see how much you've grown in that time also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how does it feel now that it's done, almost done?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when I've been reading the drafts, and obviously it's been coming together. Yeah, I mean, it feels that it's there. It's the important events, the person who I am today. I could see the journey. I could see the journey. What's led me to where I am now. I could see that journey in text.
Yeah.
In text. Yeah. So nice. It feels great.
I also understand that it's been important for you to be completely honest in your book.
Yeah, definitely.
Why is that?
Transparency. I mean, it's when I've read the autobiographies of other people that I'm inspired by, it's transparency. They really highlight all the bad things, but they weren't. You can't to say they were bad is I don't know. It's bad. Maybe is the wrong word, but revealing. You have to reveal every aspect of who you were, who you became.
Yeah.
And if you try to leave stuff out, then it just comes across as being disingenuous.
Yeah.
So make it as authentic as possible. Don't leave out the things that maybe you don't want to tell people.
Yeah.
Because that's made you who you are today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't make it all sugar coated.
Yeah.
Go down to the depths of where you were, and obviously make it as authentic as possible and be transparent with it.
Yeah. So is this book also sort of a bookend for this part of your life?
One more time.
Is the book also a sort of an ending to this part of your life?
Yeah,
the beginning of the next?
Yeah. I would say it's like for me, as a book is in chapters, so life is in chapters.
Yeah.
So it stops and starts. It stops where I am today, but obviously I still where I am today is going to take me to where I'm going to be in the future. So it's a chapter. I mean, life is a series of chapters. So this book is where it finishes where I am today, basically. Yeah.
So there will be another book in 40 years then.
Yeah. I mean, it's because obviously, as life continues, there'll be new challenges.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop now. I'm not gonna stop developing now.
Yeah.
So obviously, as I become a grandfather, I mean, my oldest son is 27. So sooner or later, he will have his kids sooner or later. Hopefully, I'm still alive at that time.
Yeah.
So then, when I'm a grandparent, there'll be new experiences. There'll be new things I'm gonna be doing. So there'll be new challenges. I mean, I'm not standing still. So the more if you stand still, then don't think about writing anything more.
Yeah.
But it's like a sequel to a film. There's always some way you can improve upon it and make it better. There's always new angles, new things.
There's always more.
Always more. Yeah.
Tell us something about the title.
Yeah, the title was again. That was literally, you say the triangle of where I've been. Really, the journey is like you're born in the ghetto, and everything around it. The crime, the poverty, the racism. You're born into that lifestyle. Yes. then in the process of that, it's like, in my case anyway, I became quite reckless with life, so it's like I didn't give a shit whether I lived or died at one stage. It was just, okay, man, yeah, let's go for it, you know. And then as you get older, more mature, now you got more responsibilities. You realize you can't continue that lifestyle anymore. You gotta rebirth. You gotta come out of that. You gotta see the opportunity that maybe you didn't see before. So you gotta become a new you. You gotta kill the old person, and you gotta resurrect. To put it in a religious context. You gotta resurrect yourself basically. So that's where the title came from the ghetto to the grave to rebirth. So you're born in the ghetto, you don't care if you live or die. So so you got to kill you got to kill that old person, that old mentality, in order to resurrect into who you want to become. How you want to be seen by people, especially family and close friends.
And there's also a religious connotation to it, because religion is a big part of your life as well.
I wouldn't classify. I mean, when we say I wouldn't classify myself as being religious. I mean, I'm not the kind. I don't go to church every Sunday. I mean, maybe I'm in church. As a Christian, maybe I'm in church twice a year, Christmas and Easter. So I'm not this kind of guy that's like religiously going to church and doing everything as the religion says you should do it. I think that religion is just pretty man-made in that sense. But I have a faith. I have a strong belief in a superior being, and that's obviously part of who I am, the core element of who I am for sure.
In this book, you're honest and you're being hard on yourself, but you're also being honest about your feelings about a whole lot of other people in your life that's come and gone. Are you in some way anxious about what other people is going to feel about it?
Anxious, I won't say no, not anxious. I would say it's no, actually.
No?
It is what it is, I mean, it's not done to, the book wasn't written to hurt anybody that's been part of my life. It's from my perspective. It's from my experiences with those people. So there's no bitterness, there's no frustration. Of course, at the time you're disappointed in certain things that didn't work out the way you would like them to work out. But that's all part of my feelings. I mean, it's part of my life. So these people were involved in it. So I can't tell the story of my life and then, eradicate these people from it, because then it wouldn't be authentic, wouldn't be truthful, So I've got to include those elements in it. But it's not meant to hurt anybody or get revenge on anybody. It's just my life. That's from my perspective, So
is the book, are you going to be able to buy it in every bookstore, or what's the
I mean, the purpose is not that.
No.
Actually, the purpose just is for family and close friends. If someone sees it and says, wow, this is a great story, we'd like to publish it, then of course I'll speak to yourself, who helped me to write it, and say, what do you think about it, So that was never in my intention to, okay, right, now I'm going to send it out to all these big publishers and try to, no, not at all. It's predominantly for family and close friends. It's a legacy I'm leaving behind, basically, So my grandchildren can read it. Okay, when I'm gone, oh, this is who Granddad was. Rather than my son telling him, they can read it for themselves, basically.
But is there also a part that you think you can use in your education in the future for your students as an inspiration?
Definitely. So I mean, of course, that's where the inspiration and can also come into place, so that people can see my journey and understand that things that maybe society tells them are impossible. I mean, if I'm just like you, I'm just an ordinary man, just like yourself. I just decided there's certain things that I wanted to do, and I managed to do them. And certain mistakes I made, you shouldn't make. And certain things I did, you can do better. You know what I mean? So it's a source of inspiration. So anybody that I feel can benefit from it, I'll say, take a copy of this and read it, pass it to your friends and family.
And almost like a twist of fate in the process of writing this book, which has taken almost 4 years. During that time, your life changed a whole lot. You got divorced, and basically your business venture took a whole other turn.
Exactly.
To put it mildly. So can you tell us a bit what happened to DS?
That was crazy. That was like I said. I mean, I think that if someone didn't have my experiences, they could be extremely bitter about that situation, you know. I mean, you got to imagine that you're in a country that's not your own. You start a business. It was actually my second business, but you start a business. What was it, 2010? From nothing, scratch, nothing, just an idea. And within the space of 3 or 4 years, you're making £1 million, 10 million crowns. I mean, it's a big achievement, you know. And obviously, the team of people I had working with me, they assisted in that, in building that up, you know. So it wasn't all done by myself, you know. Obviously, I had people working with me at that time, you know. So obviously, but you start the project, I started the project. You go through, you know, the vision. You build it up to a point where you can now start to employ people and bring in new shareholders and now expand, you know, which is always my philosophy, expand. So then, you know, when you get that kind of climb, you know, like it's not up down. It's gone like that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obviously it's a great experience, you know. It's like, wow, look what we managed to achieve, you know. At the same time as you're having that climb, upward climb, you're creating enemies, which I've also I realized. You're creating enemies, and so what I've realized that when everything comes down to money, I've never been in the pursuit of money, especially not in my adult life. It's been more the pursuit of excellence. So if I'm good at what I do, then the benefits come anyway. At the same time, is that if I have somebody else who's in the same line of business as me, I don't see them as a competitor. I see them as someone that I can, okay, how good are they doing? What are they doing good? How can I make it better? But I'm not going to try to clash, to point fingers at, okay, that's bad, I'm better. It's more like, okay, right, they're doing it good. Okay, but how can I do it better? So I don't see them as being someone I'm going to steal customers from. It's more like, okay, it's like when you compete. If someone's beat is in my field in particular, you know, as a sprinter, if you're beating me, of course I see you beating me. Now I want to beat you, right? Yeah. So I'm not going to sit there and think, okay, there's no point me pointing the fingers at you and saying, how fast are you? Why are you so fast? No. I need to go away and train myself to be better. Yeah. It's the same thing here with business. I need to go away and find how can I perfect my business model to make it better than yours. But not to see that we're competing in that sense. So I'm competing to make my product better. Yeah. So I'm competing within our own entity. Yeah. Right. So when the consumer has a choice, they can see, okay, right, they want to choose you, great. No hard feelings. They want to choose us, why should you have hard feelings? Yeah. You shouldn't, you know, because some people like my product better than yours and vice versa. So it's something out there for everybody, right? So, I mean, what I realized in this one was that we were creating so many enemies who were just looking for opportunity to get in and basically close it down. So that was basically what we did. And obviously it coincided with the time when I got divorced and when my mum passed away. So I took a break. So that year, 2015, 2016, I took a break. I was still there, theoretically, you know, on paperwork, but actively I was hardly ever there. I left it in the hands of shareholders and employees. Because I thought, right, I need a break now. I need to take care of myself. So during that time, that's when all these things came out with the media. I mean, that was all, for me, it was all a setup. I mean, they took two students. One, it was 3 people, but it was one person who had never done the course. But they took 3 people, made the TV program, and obviously now it's on media. So from 3 students out of 6,000, it was enough to take it down. All right. Right. So we went from doing like 8 million to 2 million. I mean, then of course it's very hard to come back again when that stigma is out there, you know. So to see that happen, you know, you worked so hard to build it up. To see that fall, it was experience. It was an experience. It was something that I would never have dreamed would happen. Because obviously, you know, you're at that time we're ranked number 1. We're the number 1 personal training school in Scandinavia. There's no other school that is educating as much students, or when they go out to work in the gym chains, SATs, Nordic Wellness and so forth, They're recognized as the best. They're the ones that have the most customers. You know, they're the most popular. So from that height, and all that is ignored. Think now that we educated something like 6,000 students by that time. 90% of them found work. So this company that's being started by an immigrant, you know, has produced so much for the Swedish economy. Yet the TV and the other players in the game can want to take that down, forgetting how much good has been done. As you see my point, it was like so that aspect was like really disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought, okay, if that's how it is, okay, I'm not, you know, I'm a pawn in the game, so to speak, you know. So then from there, you just learn from the experience. So it was from being on that height, you know, being on the front page of magazines, everyone talking about you, to suddenly be on the front page for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
It was an eye opener. I can tell you, it was an eye opener. But that's life, you know.
But you felt it was unfair and unjust.
Yeah, it was unfair. It was unjust. Yeah. I felt, you know, if you want to do a TV program about personal training schools, then make it unbiased. Take a selection of personal training schools, and if you want to single out one, then look at the good, look at the bad.
Yeah.
Sure, but put to the consumer or to the public the whole picture. Don't put 3 students who one of them hasn't even done the course, one of them who did the course didn't pass the course, and one was a former employee that got pissed off when she got fired. You take 3 negative people who have negative feelings, and you use that as your sources of authenticity. To take down a company that had produced so much for the Swedish economy, no, that was completely unjust. What can you do? I mean, I don't own any TV channels, and I'm not going to go out there. Of course, I spoke to my lawyer about it. Yeah, of course, you should go and sue. I said, well, why? I'm not. Yeah, of course, maybe, but I would spend 2 years, you know, tied up in a lawsuit that maybe I don't win and waste my time and energies, and then it becomes a financial thing. So no, forget it. Forget it.
Did you, during that time, think you'd ever get back into the business, so to speak, the fitness industry, or?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think I left the fitness industry many years ago. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's about education, and it just happens that I'm educating people in the fitness world, but not from a fitness perspective, because I don't believe that a personal trainers should be focused on the fitness side of training, personally training people. What we actually should be doing, what we actually are people that change people's lives. And you don't change people's lives just by going to the gym. You see my point? Because people on average spend 3 hours inside a gym per week. So in a 168-hour week, if they spend 3 hours inside a gym, that's like 0.2% or whatever it might be, percent of their life is spent working out. So it's what you're doing for the other 165 hours, that is what your life consists of. So what we need to be doing as trainers, personal trainers, is training people personally how to handle their lifestyle, not your physical calorie burning or muscle building. You see my point? So I've never seen the last 10 years or so, I've never seen myself as a trainer that is focused on going to the gym and lifting weights. That's just something you should do to keep your skeleton in good shape and your muscles in good shape and your health in good shape. But you don't need to go to the gym to do that. You can do that just by going for a power walk. You do that by going for a run.
Well, which brings us to, it's not a new passion, but it's a passion that's become more than a passion now, which is education. Because
exactly.
it's, you've been studying yourself for a long time.
Exactly.
And with the intent of, I don't know, changing the way people think, is that the way to put it?
Yeah, I mean, changing or adding to people's perspective of what education should be. That is not a question of learning a bunch of numbers and learning maybe a couple of new languages and, you know, learning some historical content.
Tell us what you've been studying.
So basically I did a degree, and that degree, included in that degree, was subjects on psychology, philosophy, social sciences. That was the main core modules in that degree. And then from there, I will now complete my master's in August this year, and that's based upon education, leadership, and management, basically. So it's more like working within the academic world in how the hierarchy of the academic world, in terms of the principals or the board of the schools, in what they are allowing into their course syllabus. So what are they teaching the students today that may or may not is relevant for the society of today, basically, and how we are teaching them and what we are teaching them. Yeah. So when they come out of school, they come out equipped with the right tools to be effective in today's society. Yeah.
And so this knowledge that you have now is something you can implement whether you live in Sweden or in Britain or
wherever. Wherever.
Yeah. And so what are your plans for the future?
Plans for the future there, ideally, is like what now. I'll finish the masters now to sort of do my dissertation, so that'll be finished within a couple of months in August this year, 2019, and then hopefully to get onto a PhD program in the fall, in autumn of this year, or latest in May 2020. So then there'll be like a full PhD research. There's a couple of subjects I really want to research, and one is the balance of society, basically. Is that why the balance so still today in this 21st century? Why is it still so unbalanced? Why is it that that you can have kids that are still born into an environment where they are so suppressed, need to be equal. And I think that's missing in a lot of the modern education that we have today. Basically, not taught the full context of one, historical context, and two, right, what do kids need to learn today to be relevant and productive in the society of today?
There's not a giant leap from that and going into politics. Is that something that you've considered?
Yeah, actually, that was I would say that was one of my I want to become a politician. I want to change the world. Then I realized that if you stand out too much, man, you don't live long. So I thought, no, I don't want to be a hero in that sense. I want to be, So you can never say no. Maybe I could work in the political arena, but never be a front figure.
Okay.
Never be a front figure. No, I think that I value my time with my family too much, and I think there's certain boundaries that I wouldn't want to get into.
Okay.
On the periphery, maybe as an advisor, but not to be a front figure.
More behind the scenes.
More behind the scenes. Yeah.
Speaking of heroes, who are your main influences?
Main influence, definitely my mother. Yeah. That's the strongest influence in terms of obviously people that have had an impact on my life, for sure. My mum. After my mother, then it will be some of the great sports stars like Muhammad Ali, for example. Great inspirator, great motivator. I mean, anytime you just tap into any of his fights or any of his interviews, you always find something that's that's amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the great historical leaders, obviously like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi. Some of these really great leaders that sacrificed a lot and had a dream and went for it despite the consequences. That's really inspirational stuff. Yeah. But number one, my mother for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the difference between David 5 years ago and David today?
David 5 years ago. I would say the difference, I take less shit. Yeah. I would say as I've got older, my patience has increased in one sense, because obviously I've come to realize that I'm the kind of guy that relentless. If that's the word I can. Relentless. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. You can guarantee I'm going to do it. It might not happen when I want it to happen. It might not come it might not come when I expect it to come. But if I say I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do it. Like when I said I'm going to get my master's, I didn't envision it taking me 15 years. But once I said I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it until I get it.
Yeah.
You understand? So I mean that type of character, it's hard to be around. But then I had to learn the patience that not everyone can handle that. So not everyone wants to to make those goals and hit those goals. You know, some people say, okay, I got a degree now. It's taken me 9 years. So what should take me 3 years? It took me 9. That's enough. You know, for some people, I don't want to study no more. But for me, it's no. I mean, I said I'm going to do this, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, along the way, you get the patience that not everyone can handle that type, being around that type of person who okay, no, we're not going to settle for this. We're going to keep going. So when it's me personally, it's me personally. But then obviously it affects people around me.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to have patience in that sense. But then in another sense, I have no patience no more for certain type of people. If I see that you're not positive for my life, right, that's it. Good luck. But sorry, we can no longer be connected to each other. I'm out of the picture. So, you know, it's once I see that, before I would tolerate it. But as a trainer, especially, so you work with people that you have to be patient with. You know, you go, okay, this person, you know, they're not where they should be. So you got to have the patience with them. That's my job. But and that perspective I took into my private life also. So sometimes you could be in relationships you shouldn't be in, but okay, you have the patience. Okay, let's go through this together. And, you know, we'll make it work. But no, not anymore. And now it's like, okay, you're not productive for me. Therefore, there's no point in us being together. Yeah. So quite ruthless in that sense, because now as you get older, I realize I'm not 27 now. I'm 47, soon 50. I can't afford to waste time. You know, I got to put my time that I have spare. Even the time I have, I've got to put it on the people that value it. And if you don't value me, then you don't value my time. And therefore, we can't hang around together. We can't be together. We can't mix together. So in that sense, I have no patience for that type of people. Not saying they're not bad people. We just don't click. Yeah. So let's unclick. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not try to force it. Yeah. You know, not try to force it, and then have the no, we keep trying. No, it's like it doesn't work. It doesn't feel right. Let's move on. Go our separate ways. You know. So I mean, that's the difference between me now. That's one of the big differences between me now and 5 years ago. I have no tolerance for that. So even now, as we start this new venture with a new school and stuff like that, I'm making it quite clear to people: only sign up if you want to commit yourself to being dedicated, committed, and want to learn and to become successful at this job. Otherwise, choose another school. Choose another school.
Yeah, because you have a new school.
Yeah.
21st century.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
What's that about?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically taking the trainer into the 21st century, understanding that the needs of today's society are different than what they were 10 years ago. Things have evolved. You know, technology, nutrition, training trends, you know, society in itself has evolved, and it constantly evolves. So we can't be teaching you stuff that was relevant. Like in school, you can't be teaching people stuff that was relevant in the last century. It's a new century, you know. We're living in a new, what they call it, millennium society, right? Where everything's so fast tracked. So we need to come up to speed with that. And obviously, some educations don't. So obviously, they've attacked that too. You know, the people out there, it's like, oh, he's back again. We didn't get him last time. You know, we just get him again. So they will attack anything that they see as a threat. Anyhow. That's our philosophy, you know. It's like, all right, it's 21st century now. We need to bring the students up to 21st century education in terms of the information, in terms of how the society is living, and in terms of obviously how they can be successful today by using those, you know, all the social media platforms. You don't have to do advertising on you know, newspapers or TV. You can use social media. How you can build a business from your passion, basically. So I mean, that's part of being in the 21st century, using 21st century technology and how to use it effectively, you know, 21st century material, 21st century information, you know, all that needs to come up to speed, you know. So that's the basis of the name, and that's the basis of the new philosophy that we have, and much more holistic in how we do it. We look at the lifestyle of the person, not the how do you say, the fast track trends that exist. You know, how to be healthy with your life. We want you to live a long life, so therefore we need to obviously give you the right tools to do that. Yeah.
So is it fair to say that as DS was more based on the business side, 21st century is based on the passion side of things? Yeah,
I think that, you know, as we grew with DS, you know, of course, when we first started, we were just like in Gothenburg, you know. Then obviously, then the idea was, okay, wow, like, if wherever there's a gym, there's opportunities to run a course. So okay, why stop with Gothenburg? We can do it in Malmo, we can do it in Stockholm, we can do it in Luleå, we can do it in Borås, you know, wherever there's a gym in that city, we can hold a course. So we can bring the education to you rather than you having to come to Gothenburg, you know, which obviously the schools that were around at that time missed out on that opportunity. And I capitalized on that opportunity, right? Why is a student from, let's say, Umeå, Luleå, way up north, having to come all the way to Gothenburg, stay in a hotel 2-3 weeks, be away from their family 2 or 3 weeks, have all the cost, plus the course costs. Oh, partner with a gym in that city, and I go there and teach. It's convenient, it's easy, right? Yeah. So that's how the business expanded. So by the time, you know, DS was at its peak, we were in over 30 cities in Sweden, just Sweden, as well as being in Helsinki, Oslo, and Copenhagen. So, you know, we were huge at that time, you know. So obviously, yeah, now from that passion to bring, so DS, actually, that's a funny thing. DS, everyone thought that DS stood for me, David Samuyiwa. That's what everyone thought that. Actually, it never stood for my name. It stood for Direct Solutions. We were bringing the direct solution to the industry of how a modern day trainer should be. Because everyone always thought it was me. So when they were hitting it, they thought they were hitting me at the same time, you know? Right, because they thought it's my name, you know? Actually, never was my name. I don't think anyone actually knows that till now. So DS stood for Direct Solutions, right? So we were bringing you the direct solution of how to become a modern day trainer. So the passion was always behind that holistic side, but as a business grew, then it became obviously more of a business venture. And that's where I made a mistake. Because if I go and teach in Luleå, it's me bringing the core values of what I had put into that vision. I'm bringing that to you. But now, if I'm too busy and I'm teaching, because the dates clash, right? Got 30 cities, dates will clash. So if I can't get to Luleå and I'm now here in Gothenburg teaching, I've got to send a teacher to Luleå. That teacher doesn't go there with the same values I have. Even though he's been taught by me and educated by me and he might have the credentials to teach, he doesn't go there with my values. He goes there teaching the material and then goes home, right? So he's not taking care of the vision, of the values of the business. He's just going there for his paycheck, right? That's where the mistake was. We grew so big, so we were hiring teachers to go and teach who had teaching credentials but didn't have the core values, right? So obviously now we're getting, that's where I said when I stepped out from the scene, 2015, 2016, and more of the teaching was done by other people, the more of the mistakes, more of the errors, more of the lack of customer service came into place. And these are things I stand for. You know? So that's where we left gaps for people to now come in, right? Now we can get them. Now, you know, we've got this evidence, we've got this person complaining, that person dissatisfied, and make this show. So now with 21st, we've cut all that shit out. We will run 4 courses, 2 in Gothenburg, 2 in Stockholm. That's it. That's it. We have 4 teachers who I have worked with and I know are really, really good at what they do. And they have their own businesses. So they're not employed by me. All right. So they're like consultants. So if they fuck up, then they're not only fucking up their name and their reputation, you know, as well as mine. But they also, they have something to lose also. When it's an employee, okay, man, okay. I'm just employed, man. The boss told me. No, now we build this team together with our 4 separate consultancies coming together to make this school. So if you don't do your job, your name and your company is also affected. Now you're going to think twice about not delivering the core values of what we stand for. So we stand for these core values together. So that's very important. And we're working from 4 separate entities. I'm not employing anybody. We're all working together. So it's not my school, it's our school. Yeah.
So that's a way of learning from your mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and especially in a business as volatile as the fitness industry. It's so volatile. You know, there is no loyalty, there's no honesty. It's completely disingenuous. It's full of fake people. So, you know, you have to, you know, and it's a business where there's no barriers to entry. That's also critical to understand. So from DS, we were there 6-7 years. Out of the DS school, how many personal training schools do you think came out of that school? Personal training school, not trainers, personal training schools. How many do you think came out of that school?
Around 10?
Yeah. 15 schools came out of it to date. I mean, maybe there's more that I don't know about, but at least 15 schools came out of that school where students came onto the course, said, wow, okay, 20 students, did the maths, okay, right, got the material, okay, well, I've got 1,000 people on Facebook or 1,000 Instagram followers, I can start my own school.
Yeah.
There's no barriers to entry. Once you've got the material and you've got a following, now with social media, you can market yourself. You don't need to have, a big budget to do newspaper
and you
or
can
radio.
call yourself a PT without it having the paperwork.
Yeah,
credentials.
but these are people that were obviously starting their own school.
Yeah.
So taking our material and starting a school, because people now start to realize that you need to have some paper.
Yeah.
You need to have a diploma.
Yeah.
So there are trainers who work out there with no license,
Yeah.
for sure. But obviously most have some type of diploma.
All right.
So it's like obviously these ones we're coming. Okay, right. Yeah, this is a good business.
Yeah.
We can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
We've got the material. Just rebrand it.
Mm-hmm.
Recopyright it, rebrand it, change a few little things, and we launch in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So 15 schools came out of our school. Yeah, so people that just took our products, took the philosophy that they learned from myself, and went out there and resold it under their own banner.
Yeah.
So there's no barriers to entry. It's not like you don't need a massive budget or you have your own facility. You do what I did. You hire locations. You hire a conference room, you hire a gym. That's it. The gym's happy, they get a percentage. The conference room's happy, they don't, they get their daily rate.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all that how you say, lack of authenticity comes into the industry once it gets big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what happened to the personal training schools situation, And the funny thing was, one of the guys who started the first school in Sweden, I won't mention his name, but I had a few meetings with him on a few occasions because I was trying to partner with him. I thought that together we can do something that the industry couldn't challenge, so to speak. He said to me, "Well, David, you know what? I actually blame you for how things are."
Oh yeah.
It's quite a frank conversation. He's quite a frank person. I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah, because you started this trend of being able to open up your own schools. Because before that, there was just free schools. So back in 2006, 7, up until that time, there's only 3 schools in Sweden. Now there's over 50.
Oh.
There's only 3 schools in Sweden. So everyone went to those 3 schools that were based in Stockholm. How I came into it in the first place was that, because I think, as you were reading the book, I was hired as a personal training coordinator for what is now Nordic Wellness. So they didn't have any personal training going on at that time, and I was renting from them. So when the owner saw that I was really good at what I did, I had a lot of customers, so right, So I presented him the idea, right, if you want to build this, he said to me, okay, why can't other trainers do what you're doing? I said, well, they don't have the education, they don't have the knowledge. And obviously me coming from England, I've been taught how to do this right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I said, well, I can do it for you also, and I could start this operation for you. At that time, only SATS had some kind of structure, so I can do it for you, and I can do it better. I said, okay, fine. So we went on that journey. Obviously, at the beginning, I had to hire trainers from these 3 schools. See my point? So these were only 3 schools that existed. So I was hiring them in.
Yeah.
And then now when I'm hiring them in as personal trainer to work in these clubs, I realized how bad they were. They had the basic knowledge, anatomy, physiology, had the basic knowledge, but they had no customer service, they had no sales and marketing skills, they had no leadership skills, they had no idea of even how to lift weights, most of them. I thought, but most of your work is going to be done inside the gym. How can you not know how to, you don't even train yourself. I mean, how is this possible? But I'm having to hire these people. So my job depends on these people doing their job. Yeah. So obviously my job as a coordinator to make sure these people are getting customers and obviously making these customers buy personal training, getting their results so that they buy more personal training and recommend friends and family. But you haven't been taught this on your courses, so how can you do it? So I was having to reteach them. That's when the idea came for me to start my own school in 2000. The first school we had with a Finnish guy, Jarkko, was in 2007. We started our own first personal training school. Yeah. So that is where now this guy said to me, I blame you because you started this trend of obviously been able to start. I said, but if your schools were good, I would never have done it, because that was never my intention to start a personal training school. Never my intention at all. But when I realized that my job depends upon it, and I have all this knowledge to teach, why should I do it for free? So that's from there we started our own school. But if your school would have been good, and I would have hired these trainers, and they would have been good, there would be no need for me to start my own school. No need. So you can't blame me. You just got to blame yourself. They say, but now there's so many players in the market. Yeah, but like any other business, look at the gym business. There's so many players in the market. It didn't exist 10 years ago. But the industry is growing, so of course you're going to get more players in the game. And if you're not up to speed, what stops you from going nationwide? I said to him. You could have gone nationwide, then I couldn't have done it because you would have been the first. But you wanted to stay in Stockholm. You didn't see the opportunity. I did.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were there first from 1995, you should have been, close the market, lock, stock and barrel.
Yeah.
But you just stayed in Stockholm.
Yeah.
No one's not everybody wants to come to Stockholm to come do a course. You know what I mean? So we had quite a frank discussion about that. So I mean, the situation obviously now is that the market is so saturated that the quality is so bad. That's why, I still want to be in the game, but not the fitness game. I'm not interested in the fitness game.
Oh.
No, the fitness game is too fake for me. It's way too fake.
But is 21st century your way of trying to, I don't know, change the system from within, or?
I think the system is too wild to be changed.
Yeah.
To be changed, because there's too much money in it. There's too many egos in it. It's too big now. It's too big now. I mean, unless it's a radical change that everybody has consensus over, no. And it's just got too big. It's got too out of control. That's the word. It's out of control.
All right.
It's out of control. No one can control it. So the more out of control it gets, the more crazy it's going to get. So you just got to stick to your part, like what your philosophy and market that.
Yeah.
But trying to change from within, no, it's not. It's too. There's just too many egos.
Yeah.
Too many egos in it, basically. Yeah.
But it is a way for you to combine your passion for education and also owning those skills for further ventures.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's still education for me, and it's still having an impact on people.
Yeah.
It's still obviously giving people my philosophy or our philosophy, and it's still obviously a way for the next generation to taste some of my experience and some of my knowledge, basically. It's to taste. It's 2 weeks, so you're not going to get everything in 2 weeks. That's why I put it in the book. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. So I mean, it's and I've tried that change you talked about. Most of there's a federation that is Europe based. That how do you say? What's the word to use? They give accreditation. They accredit different schools. So you send your syllabus, you send your teachers, you send your material, and they go through obviously quality control. So it's a European-based federation. Okay. Yeah, that basically sanctions your school to be up to the European standards. Okay. Yeah. So I've talked to these guys for many years to say, guys, listen, there needs to be a consensus of all the schools as to what we teach. We can have all our separate schools, but we need to have some unity here, because obviously if there's no unity, then everyone's going to be doing their own thing. It's going to make the industry look bad. So I said, okay, I organised one time. The guy said, okay, that's a great idea. So this was one of the main guys in the federation. So the federation is based in UK, but the headquarters are in Brussels. Okay. So the guy says, yeah. He said, great idea, Dave, great idea. He said, can you organise something? I said, yeah, sure. So I sent out a mail. This was about 3 years ago, just before the TV programme. I sent out a mail to all the schools that were main players, about 20 schools. I said, okay, the guy from the European Federation will come to Stockholm, where we can sit down and discuss with him how we can make our situation in Sweden better. Before, it's chaotic now, let's try to get it much more even scale. So I sent out to about 20 schools. 2 or 3 replies. Okay, yeah, this is good. We're going to be there on that date. Behind my back, I don't know what schools they were, but behind my back, some schools went to the European Federation and said, no, we don't want to attend this because Dave is involved.
Oh, really?
Right. So he called me and he said, Dave, we have to cancel that meeting. I said, why? He said, yeah, some people are not so happy because you've taken the lead to do this. I said, but why didn't they take the lead? Yeah. I'm not trying to lead anything here. I'm just trying to organise a situation for you to come down and where we can all sit down and discuss how we can be better. I've taken the lead in making that sending out the email, but I'm not the leader. You are. I'm just making a platform for you to come in, and so we can all sit down and discuss this. But he said, yeah, I know, Dave, I know, but there seem to be some politics in Sweden that I don't know about. So we have to cancel that meeting. Right. So I've tried, to get the people in Sweden together, to go to European Federation, to get them to come down, and so we can fix the situation in Sweden in terms of the quality of education. Because if the trainers are bad, think of how they're training the clients. Right. And then the clients go away with the wrong information. Sooner or later, they're going to train by themselves or eat by themselves, or whatever. So, I mean, there needs to be quality behind it all. Never happens. That's okay. I'm not doing that no more. Forget it. I'm just wasting my time. Let me focus on my own castle.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about anybody else, unfortunately, because they don't seem to give a shit about the industry. I do, but all I can do is do what I can do in my own small part. Yeah.
So, 21st century is just getting started?
Just getting started. Yeah. About a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where do you see yourself and or the company in 5 years?
Just delivering quality education. We don't have any big ambitions to build like we had as with DS. That's not part of the picture. It's a small project. They're not planning to go in 25 cities. Not planning to go global. Just stay pretty close to home, and educate the ones that are willing to come. That want to take part of what we have to offer, basically. Yeah. So we've been. And that's how that's how it struggles also, because like I said to you, once with DS they thought, okay, well, we've got rid of this guy, because they see him as a threat, basically. Because quite frankly, there's no there's no one out there that can compete with what I offer. You know what I mean? To beat me, you need to have a PhD, right? Now you can have a PhD, great, but then you also need to have 30 years of experience in this field. Pretty hard to get. You also need to have worked in over 15 countries. Pretty hard to get. You also need to be a former international athlete competing for 2 countries. Pretty hard to compete with. Yeah, all these statistics together. So you might have been to Olympic Games, but do you have a master's degree? Probably not. You might have. If you've been to Olympic Games, there's no way you'll be working for 30 years in the industry. So it's pretty hard to get that combination of competence in all areas, and they know that. So obviously they don't try to. So what obviously they try to do, they try to attack what you do, and that way they attack you in an indirect way. So once I realized, I said, no, I don't need that shit. I just do it small scale, the ones that want to come on the course, and I'm fine with that. We're not trying to do it into a multi-billion like we were with DS. Right? Let's go bigger. Let's go to China. Let's not, So all these things were open with DS. I was in China. I was in Dubai. I was all over the place. I don't realize. Really, is this what I want? No, it's just money, mate. It's making good money. But I'm losing my core values because I'm having now to dilute my core values because I have to teach other teachers to teach what I teach, but you can't because you're not me. So I want to do most of the teaching because obviously then I know what you're getting is coming from the source rather than me having to teach someone who doesn't know. Just get it on paper, some bullet points.
So, and in your personal life, what do you see?
Personal life. My main thing with my personal life is just to see my children, especially my youngest son, to grow into a really good person, basically. So to spend as much time with family as possible, close family as possible. Because I mean, obviously, it's with so many influences in today's society. I mean, it's that we didn't have when we grew up. We didn't have much. Everything's so easy. We didn't have cell phones. We were lucky to even have a color TV. Most people, as I was. So there's so many influences today. It's with Facebook, with social media, with TV, with computers, all that kind of stuff. So much influence media. So I think that kids today, they need a really, secure environment to grow in, so they're not influenced by the negative influences. Facebook is great, but used in the wrong way, it isn't. I mean, your cell phone is great, but staying on it all day long and playing, Snapchatting when you should be doing your homework is not good. Yeah, your computer's fantastic, but if you're spending 5 hours every night on Fortnite, it's not productive. You see my point? So it's to be around them as parents, to steer them away from the excesses that are out there. That's critical, especially in our fast-paced society where parents work a lot because we have to follow the status quo, right? Both parents have to work. Both parents, have to work 9 to 5. And then the kids come home from school. You've got a couple of hours and they're in bed. Then you've got the weekend. Everyone's tired, but you've got to do something. So you've got to go out there. This consumerism, this materialism that we are trying to keep up to date with. It's having a negative effect on the next generation. So I want to be around a lot to as much as I can influence his choices. I can't make them. Because he's 13 now.
Yeah.
Now he's telling me certain things he doesn't want to do, and obviously you have to respect that.
Yeah.
But around to at least, okay, right, but just think of this,
Yeah.
and obviously and be around as a father,
Yeah.
And a friend,
Yeah.
so not just a father, but as a friend,
Mm-hmm.
You can relate to me as a friend also, so that you relate to me as a friend, not to your friends who don't have my experience. So you see me in many contexts,
Yeah.
rather than just the guy who pays the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So are you comfortable getting older?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you see, I've got some grey hairs here.
See that?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, no.
I haven't.
So for me, it's like, no, man. I want to show that fact that I am 47. Yeah, I am a mature man. I have been through a lot of stuff. Yeah, sure. So for me, the older I get, the wiser I get, the more I appreciate life. Yeah. In a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, the values that you can lose, especially being in the business world. You can lose values that are your core values if you get lost. You realize that after a while, it's not about money.
Yeah.
It's not about what car you drive or how big your house is. It's about the quality of life, your own personal happiness.
Yeah.
And when I counsel many guys who are millionaires in pounds, the two things they say to me is that one, they wish they had more time with their family, and two, they're not happy. Money has not made them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So speaking of success and money, what is the unique selling point for reading From the Ghetto to the Grave to Rebirth?
Unique selling point. Basically, you get to know you get to know how important life is, and how to appreciate every part of your life. The highs, the lows, the victories, the defeats, the successes, the failures, the journey. You get to appreciate the journey. I always see life as a roller coaster. I think I wrote once to one guy, that life is like a roller coaster. You look at it, you think, yeah, I want to get on that. You're a little bit apprehensive. You hear people screaming, fuck it, but it sounds like it's fun. You jump in it, you can't get off until it stops. So you go through all the ups and downs. Some parts of it you want to puke. Some parts you think, why am I on this? Some parts you think this is fun. Some parts you want to shit your pants. It's like but you can't get off.
Yeah,
you're on it. You're on it till it stops. You made that choice to get on it, and then obviously you're on it till it stops. The difference with a roller coaster, that if you didn't enjoy it, you don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed it, you could keep going on it.
Yeah.
With life, you get one chance. So you really have to enjoy this one life and all the experiences that comes with it. That's critical. So I mean, as long as you have that mindset to see all the opportunities in the challenges of life, because life is a challenge. I mean, it's every aspect of life, from being a kid, born into ignorance, and then having to find your character and your identity. Then you grow up, and now you start to obviously get into relationships, all that next challenge. Then you go into work, another challenge. Then you get married, another challenge. And you have kids, another challenge. Then your kids grow old, another. You know what I mean? Life is constantly it's constantly in motion. You can never have this life. It's going to be like this. And when it's like this, you learn and you enjoy it. Then you get back up here. You're right. You don't forget you were down here. You know what I mean? So it's a journey. You
live, you learn.
You live, you learn. Yeah, it's a journey. I think it's to accept that life is a journey. And life isn't a smooth journey, and to then understand that you got to enjoy it. Enjoy it, and don't allow the pressure of life to bring you down.
And there's always a chance to rebirth.
Always a chance. I mean, and that's that is I think I've rebirthed several times. But I mean, this is probably the major one now, as I come obviously in my 40s. But over the time, you're constantly having to. Like, I moved from football into boxing. It's a change. You got to the training you did here, you can't do here. The way you fought here, you can't think here. You got to change. Football's a team sport. Boxing's an individual sport. Football, you could get away by being lazy. Boxing, you can't. You know what I mean? So you got to constantly you have to adapt. You got to rebirth. You got to resurrect yourself in a different way. Moving from health and fitness into more educational. It's another rebirth. Moving from one relationship to another one, you learn your mistakes, change the next time. So it's constantly, you're constantly having to reevaluate yourself so you can resurrect yourself, basically. But if you stand still, which I think most people do, you don't learn from the things that in the past, positive and negative, you don't learn from them, and you go into the next chapter of your life, not having dealt with those issues, well then you don't grow, right? You can't, you're suddenly the same person again. You don't resurrect, you're the same person. So that's why I think in the book I use that analogy of being a caterpillar, you know, blossoming into a butterfly, or being an acorn blossoming into an oak tree. You know, it's a journey. It's a journey. Maybe being a caterpillar isn't so cool, but you've got to see yourself as being a butterfly eventually. You know, like the process we've been talking about earlier, the process of going through education. You might enjoy it in the beginning, then as you go along the journey, it's like, shit, this is hard work. You know, but you got to see the butterfly stage. You know, otherwise you're just going to get lost in, okay, it's hard work, it's too tough. Then you'll quit. Then you'll quit. But you got to focus on the butterfly. You got to focus on oak tree. Not okay. I started so small, I'm an acorn, but think what you can be if you continue to work and be relentless with it. What you can grow into. So you got to see the oak tree in the acorn. You got to see the butterfly in the caterpillar. But if you don't see that yourself, people can tell you, like I've been doing so many times, you tell people when you mentor people or you counsel people, you tell them so many times what they can be. But if they don't see it themselves, if they can't visualize it themselves, then it's not going to happen because they must do it themselves. The work must be done by you. You got, you know, I can encourage you, you know, but I can't, if you have no courage, obviously the word encourage means to encourage what the person already has. So if you have no courage to make that journey, I can give you as much encouragement as possible, but it's not going to help you because you don't have your own personal courage.
Okay, so speaking of training, what's your favorite and your least favorite exercises?
Favorite exercises? Yeah, okay. Sometimes it can, you know, depend on what period you're in, you know, what mood you're in. But I say my favorite exercise, I think it's a choice between bench press and deadlift.
Right.
Least favorite for sure is overhead squat.
Oh yeah.
That's painful. That's painful. I hate that. I think it's because
Isn't pain good?
Yeah, pain is good sometimes. That's a lie. Whoever said that is a lie. It depends on what the purpose is. Overhead squat. Right. But that's my least favorite. So it's like, oh man, I have to do it. I got to do it. But the other two, it's like I can do all the time, no matter what. But no matter what the mood I'm in, I can do those two.
What's the best advice you've ever had?
The best advice I've ever had. I've had so many. Advices, I mean. One. I'm not sure if someone said it to me or I read it. Plan for the best, prepare for the worst. So basically, you know, don't take anything for granted. You might have the best business idea, doesn't mean it's going to work. You know, you might fall in love with a woman that you think is fantastic, doesn't mean you're going to be married for the rest of your life. You know, so plan for the best, prepare for the worst. So never take life for granted, basically. Never. Just always be on the alert in that sense. That's probably the best I got.
And the worst?
The worst. Don't do it. It's not going to work.
Oh yeah.
For example, with DS, don't do it. It's not going to work. When I was becoming changing from when I started my athletic career. No, don't do it. You're too old. When I came to Sweden, don't come. It's too cold. The people, they're not nice, and you won't get a job. You know, the language is so different. All these don't do it. So when I left England to go to Canary Island to train for 2 years, no, don't go. You don't know anyone over there. You don't speak the language. You know, all these don't do it. If I've never done it, I will never be me. You understand? So don't do it. That's the worst advice I've ever got.
So why do some people?
So even the don't do it, when they didn't turn out right, were bad advice because I wouldn't be who I am. People said to me, "Don't marry my second wife because you're a different religion background. Don't marry her. It's not good." But from that, I learned more about women than what I learned in my whole life about women from that period, you know.
And about yourself, I guess.
And about myself also, you know. So, I mean, it's like, even the don't do it where people can now turn around and say, yeah, I told you it wasn't going to work. Even from those things, you know, I still learned a lot. You know, it still made me who I am. I'm not going to, if I want to go and fly and someone says don't do it and I do it, then I'm stupid. You know? Right, 'cause I'm not born to fly. But obviously, you know, I mean, life is a gamble in many ways. So if you don't do things because you're afraid all the time, then you won't do anything. You just stay in your comfort zone all your life, basically. Yeah.
Well, maybe you just answered this question, but put it anyway.
Yeah.
Why do some people succeed and others don't?
It's a good question, you know. And I thought long and hard about that question over the years, because obviously I've seen people with so much talent, so much potential, and waste it. And I've seen people with so little talent, so little potential, make it. I think it's a combination of three aspects. When I look into it, now you know you have IQ, yeah, your intellectual quotient. Then you have, people always tend to focus on that part. On the intellectual quotient, your IQ. What's your IQ? You know, how much have you studied? What is your academic background? Blah blah blah. The IQ, or do you have the intelligence to do this job, or whatever it might be? You know, the IQ. But we forget about the AQ and the EQ. The AQ is your adversity quotient, and your EQ is your emotional quotient. If those three are not synchronized, you won't achieve what you should achieve in life. Because the minute you face adversity, it's going to affect your emotional status or your emotional frame of mind, and no matter how intellectual you are in that particular job or particular skill set you have, you won't maximize your full potential. Because to grow, you're going to face adversity. To move to the next level, you're going to face adversity. And if you're emotionally weak, then no matter how intellectual you are, you won't make it. Or if you're intellectually weak, then no matter how good you are with handling adversity, your intellect will hold you back. You understand? Yeah. So you need to have a combination of all those three on a high level. So I've seen so many people with great potential, but the minute a challenge comes, they emotionally collapse because they can't handle the adversity of the situation. They can't accept the challenge, you know. And that's why I think you have the great people, really great people, have very, very, very high on all those three in their particular area, you know. So we study great people that have achieved great things. I mean, when I say great people, in terms of their significance of what they've done in the world. Whether it's, take for example, Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah. Why did and Lionel Messi? Why are they still at the top of football for the last 15 years or so? Is because they face challenges, but they haven't emotionally collapsed, and they continue to work on their intellectual quality to be better. So if they can combine those three, then it's very hard to shake them off that pedestal. Yeah. So someone could come up for 1 year, but they can't sustain it because they don't continue to work on those three things. And that for me is where people fall down, where people succeed and where people don't succeed. Is because the ones who succeed are prepared to keep working on those three elements and understand that, right, if I'm going to grow, I need to grow emotionally, I need to accept the challenges that come, and I need to continue to work on my particular skill set consistently every day and get better. And if you do that on those three levels consistently, you will just continue to climb, continue to grow.
Speaking of three levels, I suppose you're not planning on living the rest of your life without female companionship?
I tried, it doesn't work, man.
So what are the three qualities that you look for in a woman?
Three qualities. You know, in this day and age, it's like, you know, we're living in a time when, which is really good, that obviously women are becoming empowered, and that's great. There's a great, in my family we have, how many? 12 women in my family. One of my brothers has six kids, and they're all girls. So I mean, the next generation of us. I mean, I have one daughter. My other brother has 2 daughters. My other brother has 2 daughters. My sister has 1 daughter. So there's like 12 next generation of Samuyiwa, so to speak. You know. So I mean, when I see these young women and women in general today, it's like loyalty for me is key. Honesty for me is key, and I think a woman must have ambition. you know, I mean, sensible ambition, you know, that coincides with our goals that we set together. I don't want a woman that's going to say, okay, all right, I just want to work 9 to 5 and my 4 weeks of vacation. That doesn't fit me. You know, I want to explore the world. I want to do things, you know, spontaneously.
Yeah.
You know, someone who has the ambition to want to live life, you know, live life, but at the same time is loyal and is trustworthy. They have that honesty.
Yeah.
So an ambitious woman, a loyal woman, and an honest woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those three are critical. I think if you get those 3, then I think everything else you can work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can work with.
And those are 3 things that you see in yourself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of person. That's what they'll get from myself. So if we're not on the same journey, it's hard to connect. You know. So those 3 things are crucial for me, because if you're ambitious, then you tend to be confident. So obviously, a confident woman is also part of it. But if you're ambitious, you tend to be a confident person also. You know. Yeah. So yeah, those are three main qualities that I look for. Yeah. I would look for in any future relationships that I will get involved in. But it's not, as older you get, the tougher it gets. Yeah. You know, because obviously everyone comes with their, I don't like to use the word baggage, but everyone comes with their experiences. Yeah. Everyone comes with their disappointments. Everyone comes with their, you know, their issues of life. Mm-hmm. So I mean, at my age, of course, I'm not going to marry someone who's 22, right? Well, probably not. You know, so it's going to be someone who's like at least in their 30s, and obviously in your 30s, maybe you probably got children from before. You've been in relationships before. You know, you've had you say an upbringing that has formed your way of thinking. Mm-hmm. You know, so you know, it's you know, you got to find that compatibility. Yeah. So it's not just so easy to go on you know, on a date and click. Yeah. And then okay, let's start a relationship now, because now you've got to think of so many other issues, you know, that you didn't think about when you were like in your 20s. Yeah. You know, so I mean, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but you know, if
it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens. Mm. I mean, and I'm currently in a relationship right now. Just started on in one right now, and it goes well. Mm. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to find that even ground, that balance. You know, that balance of life, and make sure our lives can coexist and eventually, gel together tightly. And obviously, then if we want to have more kids, it's you know, all these issues come into place. You know, so you can't just think, right, let's get into this, and you got to think, okay, right, who is it going to affect along the way? You know, she has her kids, I have my kids. Okay, you know, do we want to spend all our life here in Sweden? No, it's okay. How are we going to make this life happen for us as well as our offspring? You know, we kind of think about us or me or you. You know, so there's so many people involved. You know, so as older you get, the more responsibility you have, obviously. Yeah. So it's not just to run into relationships that because you have a need for the physical contact. Yeah. For me, it's not about physical contact anymore. It's more about, again, the mental state. Do we click mentally? Yeah. If we click mentally, then everything else should hopefully fall into place. Hopefully. Not guaranteed though.
Good luck with that, and good luck with the book and with the 21st century.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Cheers.